Hey guys, my name is Loveless, and this time we are back with Falling in Abstraction, Chapter 4. So let's get straight into it. Caleb? He hadn't even looked at you during the earlier conversation. Why is he here? I wonder what he wants. Taking in his face for the first time was just as jarring as it was for the others. Devastatingly handsome, but cuter in person. His purple eyes looked to yours before sheepishly darting away. He looked like a kicked puppy. Ahem, uh, is it alright if I sit? He asked while scratching the back of his head and glancing around anxiously. Oh, sure, I guess. Whatever works for you. He grabbed the chair in the corner and put it onto the left side of the bed, huffing as he sat down. Finally, he looked at you, and his expression started to make you nervous. Is there anything I can help you with? I mean, do you. You muttered, his nervous energy and his adorable face making you scramble to take care of him. No, I just came to talk to you, he said with a light grimace. Oh, don't worry, I'm not here to grill you or anything. I just wanted to talk. That had you instantly relaxing. Deep down, you knew Caleb was dangerous. Truly. But the man in front of you was just embodying a huge yet harmless puppy. You couldn't keep your guard up. Sure, we can talk. Is everything okay? No, not really. He trails off as his eyebrows furrow. I mean, I feel like shit about how earlier went. I shouldn't have let it gone down like that. Obviously, you deserve to know everything, but the way it came out was. He trailed off again, pinching the bridge of his nose. Not great. You finished for him with a wry smile. But if I remember correctly, you weren't the one instigating. Yeah, well, even if that's true, you deserve better. Well, I forgive you for it, since it wasn't your fault to begin with. Is that all you came to say? You asked, wondering why he didn't seem like he felt any better about it. No, I wanted to explain earlier the reason why they were all so worked up. Why I couldn't even face you. He dragged his hand over his face before turning to stare into your eyes. The reason is we all watched her die. Your eyes widen. Huh. I guess that does explain some things. Caleb looked away from you and takes a deep breath, steeling himself to explain. A year ago, we all attempted to infiltrate Ever together. The mission went south. A wanderer I never seen or even heard about attacked us. Even with all 5 of us, we couldn't save her, he quietly confessed. He looked absolutely devastated. Of course he would be. As far as you know, this is his first life with MC. They grew up together. But, wait. I know this is kind of insensitive, but doesn't she usually come back to life? Isn't that what the ether core does? You asked as gently as you can. You knew he had watched her die many times as a child. She wasn't supposed to be able to die permanently. A shiver ran through your spine. If she did die for real, in this timeline, maybe you were. You pushed that thought away. You wouldn't give in to the idea until it couldn't be avoided. I forgot you knew about that, he said with a dark chuckle. Yes, she was supposed to come back, but the ether core must have been destroyed or damaged because we waited and waited, and he couldn't finish his words. You reached towards him with your bad arm, wishing you can do something to take his pain away. No wonder they were all so intense earlier. It's been a whole year, and you look just like her. Caleb sees you reaching, and a small smile ghosts his lips. He meets your hand halfway and puts it back down on the bed, patting it before letting go. Don't worry about me, he breathes and chuckles to himself as he pointedly motions to your broken state with his head. His eyes land on your half-finished and frankly pathetic attempt to braid your hair. Do you want me to fix that for you? Light seemed to have entered his eyes for the first time since he walked into the room, and you can't deny him even if you wanted to. Sure. Yeah, not my best work. You hand him the brush and hair tie and sit up away from the reclined part of the bed. Caleb stands with the hair tie around his wrist and begins working his fingers through the parts you already braided. You feel yourself turning red, and you look down at your lap. His fingers brush the back of your neck as he gathered your hair. A shiver runs through you. You try to lean away from his touch as he chuckles under his breath. Ticklish? He asks in a teasing voice. Yeah. Yep. Don't worry, it won't take long. You just nod, deciding to keep your mouth shut. Oh my god, he's so hot. Wait, no. Bad, Sylvie. Control yourself. He's here to tell you his sad story. Stop simping for him. But a man gently doing your hair was almost impossible to resist. You held your body stiff to stop yourself from reacting outwardly. Gently, he ran the brush through your hair a few times, then started braiding your hair. Anyways, he says quietly as he works his way down your hair, I wanted to say, I get that you aren't her, at least not totally. The guides told me, and I also know you always forget every time you reincarnate, but that's because of the weight of all those different lives will crush a person. You may not have her memories, but you still experienced a good amount of her life, even her past lives. I understand why you were confused. I also had a hard time accepting this. The rest of them have experienced this before, waited for you before, lost you before, but I thought I would be enough to protect her. Caleb finishes your hair and ties it off, and you find yourself searching for the right thing to say. It's okay. You don't have to say anything. I just needed to let you know. I'm on your side. You don't have to feel any pressure to be anyone besides who you are. You looked up at him, still standing, towering over you. Something settles deep within you. You look down at your braid and smile. Thanks for the do. Great work. He finally sits back down, and an easy smile graces his handsome face. Of course it's good work. I'm the hairdo master. You both softly laugh, and you see the light coming through the window has changed slightly. Must be morning soon, then. A twinge of pain starts in your lower belly. You cringe. You didn't think to ask Yvonne for a heating pad. Could you do me a favor, oh talented hairdo master? You ask playfully through gritted teeth. Caleb's concern is immediate, though he seems to be trying to keep the mood light. Sure, what's up? You feeling okay? Could you grab me a heating pad or something? I forgot to ask Yvonne for one. Understanding lights Caleb's face, and he's up before you can blink. Be right back. You curl into yourself on your side as much as you can. Fuck hospitals. I swear, I'm never coming to one again. It's cold in the room without Caleb. Your anxiety starts to rack it up the longer you lay there alone. You really wish you didn't have to stay here. Hopefully Zane could get whatever tests he needs to get done today, and you can leave to go somewhere else. Anywhere else. You were trying your hardest not to think about the IV needle in your arm. Without any handsome distraction, it was getting difficult. Tears stung your eyes. Starting your deep breathing exercise, you counted for 4 a few times before the door opened back up. There was Caleb, with a hot water bottle and some blankets in his arms. You tried to sit up, but stay right there, hun. Don't worry, I got you. He put the hot water bottle in your lap and unfolded the blankets as you adjusted yourself to be comfortable. He wrapped the blanket around you like a burrito and went to sit next to you again. He adjusted the blanket around your face so you weren't suffocating and noticed some unshed tears in your eyes. His face scrunched and his eyebrow furrowed. Does it hurt that bad? Do you want me to get a nurse? No, it's okay now. I just really hate hospitals and needles. You laugh a little at yourself. I know it's lame, but it's also gross. I can't stand any of it. Even the doctors make me nervous. Although Zane is really nice. And the nurse. You roll your eyes. I don't know how they do it. Caleb looked at you with understanding. It's not lame. If I'd known that, I would have been faster. Don't worry, I won't leave you alone until you order me away from your side. You laugh at his declaration, but his face was serious. Damn, he's way too good at this. Your face heats up a little and you look away. So, do you know what's up with the suite? Why aren't I in a more appropriate size room? Huh. Silas and Raphael would throw a hissy fit. But we also needed something more private. There's a lounge outside the door that the rest of the guys have been staying in. He gives you a look that screams, duh, where do you think I materialized from? Well, I guess that makes sense. Are they out there right now? You wryly ask. You really didn't think that you can handle all of them at once so soon. Don't worry, Zane and I thoroughly told them off. After they pushed you to the point of fainting, Xavier and Silas went to do some important errands, and Raphael is sleeping on the couch. Zane is in his office. No one's allowed in here without your permission anymore. You sighed in relief and sunk deeper into the blankets. It wasn't that you didn't want to see or talk to them, but the weight of their expectations was heavy. If they expected you to be her, act like her, then they would be disappointed. And you didn't want to disappoint them. You weren't brave like she was. You weren't a badass or a fighter, and you were sure you couldn't live up to her reputation. So you were adamant they understand the difference between you. This wouldn't be a reunion with a girl that they loved. Having to shove that reality in their face wasn't fun. You wanted that for them. You didn't want to break their hearts all over again, crushing their hopes. Maybe that's why it was easier around Caleb. He explicitly told you that wasn't his view of you. Caleb? Yes, Sophie? He had been observing you while you were lost in thought, but his gaze was never uncomfortable, nor was it silent. What time is it? He looked down at his watch. 4:47. Why do you ask? I was just wondering when the cafeteria opens. I haven't eaten since I've gotten here. Caleb nods and crosses his arms, looking at the ceiling in thought. Yeah, that's why Zane gave you the IV. Couldn't get you to stay awake long enough for any solid meals. Plus, he couldn't give you any medication by mouth while you were out. The cafeteria doesn't open until 7, but we'll figure something out. He gave you a mischievous smile. Let's call the nurse and see if we can't get that IV out. Oh, I don't want to bother Yvonne. It's so late. Caleb scoffs at you. But you don't mind bothering me. Good to know. He smirks and presses the call button. You scowl playfully at him. Sneaky. After 10 minutes of you dozing while you wait, you realize Yvonne's usually faster than this. Just as you have that thought, a soft knock sounds on the door. It's me, Zane softly says through the door. Your eyebrows crawl up your face, but you stay still. Come in. In walks Dr. Hadi, and it hits you how otherworldly all these men were. Like they were handcrafted to spike your heart rate. My apologies. Yvonne is taking her break. Do you need anything? Are you feeling alright? You glare at Caleb. I told you we shouldn't bother Yvonne. We didn't even end up bothering her. Right, Zane? Caleb's look to Zane conspiratorially, like this was funny or something. For a moment, Zane looked a bit confused. But as he looked between you and Caleb, as you pouted at him, an almost imperceptibly smile grows on his face. No, you didn't bother Yvonne or me, if you're wondering. Suddenly, your pout disappears, and you blush as you try to explain. It's not that I didn't... Zane's smirk grows as he gently says, Don't worry, you can bother me all you want, though I don't think you could. Face grows hotter. You two are colluding against me, I swear. You groan into the blankets. your voice muffled by a layer of fabric. She wants the IV out, and she's finally interested in something to eat, but the cafeteria is closed. I was trying to think of a way to get some food in her sooner rather than later, Caleb explains. Zane nods his head. Ah, yes, we can take out the IV now that you're up. Here, let me see. You pick your head up as he came to stand next to the bed with his hand out. Reluctantly, you sit up and pulled your arm out of the nest of blankets. Zane held your arm and you closed your eyes and turned your head. You feel Zane stop what he was doing for a moment before very quickly taking the IV out. He put pressure on the vein for a moment before cleaning it and placing a band-aid. By the time he was done, you felt a little dizzy, but all around better now that it was out. Thank you so much, you exhaled. Zane quirked an eyebrow at you. You're quite welcome. I was unaware of your dislike of needles, though it was necessary at the time. Please let me know if there's any other concerns so I can be prepared for next time. You nod and look down. This is so embarrassing. You really hate this weakness you have. She's also afraid of hospitals and doctors. All of it grosses her out, she says. Caleb says to Zane. What the hell? Way to rent me out. You turn to face Caleb with a look of betrayal. Snitch, he doesn't need to know that. He asked you, and you didn't tell him. Nothing to be ashamed of. Your mouth opens in offense. Okay, he did ask, but it's not pertinent information. Zane rolls his eyes in Caleb's direction. Caleb shrugs shamelessly, and Zane sighs. It's good to know, though you don't have to be afraid of me. Fear of hospitals is common. Caleb, although annoying, is correct. Nothing to be ashamed of. I never said I was afraid of you, though. You looked up at him shyly. I trust you. Everyone knows you're the best doctor there is. You look back down at your lap quickly, so you don't catch the face Zane makes. But a small, almost strangled sound comes from him. So cute, Zane mutters, almost wordlessly to himself. It was very quiet, but not quite enough for you not to hear it. But you don't acknowledge it. You were too busy trying to not die a flustered mess on the spot. Once you were sure you won't burst into flame, you look to see Caleb texting on his phone. What do you want to eat? Give me a few options, in case we can't find one of them, he says while scrolling on his phone. Meatball sub, pork dumplings, mac and cheese. Oh, maybe breakfast food would be better? Breakfast sandwich. Hash browns. Breakfast sounds good. A latte would be amazing. No coffee for now. We need to do some tests before, and then you can have some. Okay. Any of those would be fine. Honestly, I'm not super picky right now, as long as it's not spicy. Caleb nods while typing on his phone. And smiles as he puts it away and looks up at you. Since Xavier's already out, I sent him to get takeout. Hopefully he picks something you like. A shudder runs down your body. At least he's not cooking. Though, this means you'll have to see him. Maybe Caleb engineered this as an excuse to get you two to make up. I guess I owe him an apology for cussing him out and yelling at him. You wouldn't put it past Caleb. He's definitely a schemer. You stretch your whole body out, stiff from being in bed for so long. A whimper escapes you. Damn, everything hurts. Plus, the first day of your period is particularly bad. I'm prescribing you with some more pain medicine, since you haven't had any since the IV was inserted. I will be back with those. I recommend taking them before you eat, but not before the food arrives. You most likely fall asleep long after taking them. In the afternoon, we can discuss the test I would like to conduct. I have some rounds to make, but if you need me, just have Caleb or someone call me on their phone. Yvonne's on break until 9. Don't move around too much and get as much rest as possible. Zane turns to leave, but you manage to get out a thank you before the door closes on his way out. Turning to observe Caleb, you look at him. You looked him up and down. He looks perfect. Not at all like he was in a hospital for days. He must be uncomfortable though. So, have you been home at all since I got here? When did you sleep? Have you eaten yet? Is it really early in the morning? You must be tired. Whoa, whoa. Since when did it turn into taking care of me? You're clearly the patient. Don't worry about it. I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself. Yeah, sure you are. But if you get tired, you should lay down. There's a couch right there. I'm sure that chair isn't very comfortable. You lectured. You avoided my questions, you sneaky schemer. Sneaky? Schemer? Oh, how very bold of you, Miss Sophie. He still doesn't answer your questions, but you figured it's to be expected. Caleb is used to being the caretaker, but you don't like people having to go out of their way for you. If he's going to take care of you, you're going to take care of him right back. But you can only lead a horse to water, so the saying goes. But you can yank really hard on the reins, you think to yourself evilly. You turn on the full promise to take a nap before you get tired. I'll wake you if I need anything. To your surprise, Caleb blushes and looks away. Jeez, no need to turn those eyes on me like that, Soph. He casually covers his mouth like he's rubbing something off his chin. I'll take a nap when Xavier gets here. He still avoids your stare a little, and you pump your fist in triumph inside your mind. Yes. Oh, how the turntables, Mr. Schemer. He's really cute. You started wondering about all the ways that you can make him blush. Finally, he meets your eyes, and you quickly try to compose your face to not be so smug. Playing your cards close to your chest is the best bet. Who knows what could happen in the near future? Oh my god. That was so nice. I love that. Okay. So, I have a tiny explanation on why it took me so long to get this one done. One, I had to re-record it. Two, I got sucked into writing my own story. So, yeah, that was pretty much the only excuse. But other than that, yeah, that's about it. I will try my best to go back to posting like I supposed to, but it's just like I'm kind of just sucked into the story. Like, I'm already on chapter 3 and I'm still editing chapter 2, and I'm trying to like give myself a pause, but there is no pause. My brain is still like, hey, next chapter, let's go, and then I completely forget about editing videos. So, and also I will put the link for my story in the description, along with the link for this story in the description. So if you want to see more of that and everything else, you know what to do.